Welcome, Tolbert's biology students, to Chapter 9, Lesson 4, Electron Transport and ATP Synthesis. How does the electron transport chain use high-energy electrons from glycolysis and the Krebs cycle? Well, here's what you should be writing in your packets. The electron transport chain uses the high-energy electrons from glycolysis and the Krebs cycle to convert ADP into ATP. So, electron transport 1. You have that carrier molecule that is NADH and FADH, so it's kind of like the oven mitt that is able to move the hot potato from the oven to the stove. Or it's like UPS. UPS carries packages from one place to the next, or FedEx, or the mail deliverer. So, NADH and FADH2 pass their high-energy electrons to the electron carrier proteins in the electron transport chain. Electron transport 2. At the end of the electron transport chain, the electrons combined with H+ for hydrogen ions and oxygen to form water. That's what this is showing here. In the middle of the screen here, you see the electrons coming together with the hydrogen to form high-quality H2O. Because remember, in the intramembrane space, you had all these hydrogens, and these guys are slowly being pumped from one side to the next. So the final receptor is those hydrogen and oxygen come back together, and it makes water. Electron transport 3. Energy generated by the electron transport chain is used to move H+ ions against the concentration gradient across the inner mitochondrial membrane and into the inner membrane space. So remember, a concentration gradient just basically is when you have more stuff on one side than you have on another, and these hydrogen are all positively charged, so they don't want to be close to each other. So we use this energy to do some work in the cell. Here's a closer picture of what that looks like. And last slide for this particular lesson. The H+ ions pass back across the mitochondrial membrane through what we call the ATP synthase. This item here is the ATP synthase. So we use the concentration of all these little hydrogen down here, and we force those little guys through the ATP synthase. Every time you do this, that forces the ATP synthase molecule to spin. So you cause it to rotate. When each time that it rotates, it tags on a phosphate to an ADP. So the ATP synthase is found in all autotrophs and heterotrophs. So this molecule here rotates, and when it rotates, you have an ADP, and it tacks on one more phosphate to it, and when it does that, it makes energy, or ATP. Thanks for listening. That is lesson number 4, chapter 9.